Hello friends, my name is Mohak.
And my name is Dhanya.
Today we are going to discuss about our project fake news detection using Python and machine learning. Now, what is a fake news? Fake news has quickly become a society problem, being used to propagate false or rumor information in order to change people's behavior. It denotes a type of yellow journalism which intentionally presents misinformation or hoaxes spreading through both traditional print news media and recent of online social media. Often, fake news will mimic real headlines and twist the story.
Now, let us understand why is fake news detection so important in today's world. Modern life has become quite suitable, and the people of the world have to thank the vast contribution of the internet technology for transmission and information sharing. So, there is no doubt that internet has made our lives easier and access to surplus information viable. This is an evolution in human history, but at the same time, it unfocuses the line between true media and maliciously forged media. Today, anyone can publish content, credible or not, that can be consumed by the World Wide Web. Sadly, fake news accumulates a great deal of attention over the internet, especially on social media. Here, people get deceived and don't think twice before circulating such misinformative pieces to the far end of the world. This kind of news vanishes, but not only doing the harm it intended to cause. How to recognize a fake news story? You can watch for headline and content typos, watch for excessive punctuation, watch for biased vocabulary, for example, immigrants versus illegals. So this is what we will exactly be doing in our project as well. How does we do it? Let's have a look.
Fake news detection can be done using natural language processing. As human beings, when we read a sentence or a paragraph, we can interpret the words with the whole document and understand the context. Given today's volume of news, it is possibility to teach a computer how to read and understand the differences between real news and the fake news using NLP, natural language processing. The building blocks are dataset and machine learning algorithms. The main objective is to detect the fake news, which is a classic text classification problem with a straightforward proposition. It is needed to build a model that can differentiate between real news and fake news. The machine learning process consists of the following steps: data collection and interpretation, feature selection, algorithm choice, parameter and model selection, build a model, testing the model. We will later on discuss these steps in detail.
So let's have a look at the basic requirements needed in this project. The backend is developed using Python and its various other libraries to perform machine learning algorithms. Fake news detection project is mainly dependent on the backend itself. The front end is a web application which is used as a user interface for live prediction, and it is designed using Flask and HTML CSS.
Let's have a look at the workflow of the project. Now, the step one is data collection. In this project, the dataset is being taken from the Kaggle.com. There are 6,335 rows with 4 columns in the dataset. The name of the columns are URLs, headlines, body, and label. The first column identifies the news. Second and third columns are titles and text. And the fourth column has labels denoting whether the news is real or fake. Now, the step two is pre-processing the text. The performance of a text classification model is highly dependent on the words in a corpus and the features created from those words. Common words, that is stop words, and other noisy elements increase features dimensionality but do not usually help to differentiate between the documents. Now, step three. Feature extraction. To analyze and model text after it has been pre-processed, it must first be converted into features. Techniques include bag of words and TF-IDF vectorizers. Bag of words. It is a technique for natural language processing that extracts the word features used in a sentence, document, website, etc., and classifies them by frequency of use. And the TF-IDF vectorizers are composed by the two terms. The first computes the normalized term frequency, that is the number of times a word appears in a document divided by the total number of words in that document. And the second term is the inverse document frequency, computed as the logarithm of the number of the documents in the corpus divided by the number of documents where the specific term appears.
Step 4, classification. Now, we will use classifiers like naive-based classifier and passive-aggressive classifier to test and train the data. Then selected the best classifier for building our model according to the accuracy of the classifier we're predicting the test data. So let us now understand what is naive-based classifier and what is passive-aggressive classifier. Naive-based classifier. In machine learning, naive-based classifier are family of simple probabilistic classifiers which applies the use of naive-Bayes theorem with powerful independent assumptions between the features. Now, what is passive-aggressive classifier? Aggressive algorithms are online learning algorithms. It has two parts, passive and aggressive. This algorithm remains passive for correct classification outcome and turns aggressive in the event of a miscalculation. And unlike most other algorithms, it doesn't converge. Therefore, so far we have performed all these steps in our project and discussed it. First was to extract the training data from the dataset. Then we generated the TF-IDF and count vectorizer for feature extraction. Then we split the data into test data and train data. Then we trained our models, applied trained models using passive aggressive algorithm and naive-Bayes algorithm. Then we did uh, prediction on the test data using the models and calculated the accuracy that the models gave, and based on the accuracy we selected the best model and saved it on our disk for future predictions.
Now, this is the fifth and last step, user interface. This is the interface we have made for the fake news detection. User will put here the news and clicked on the predict button. The result will show below. The entered news is real or fake. That's it. Now let's have a look at the coding part. Now, first of all, we are importing the libraries. Like here you can see Pandas, sklearn, matplotlib, NumPy, Seaborn, Pickle. These libraries are used in our project. And below, you can see we are importing the data set using Pandas data frame, and our data set name is fake or real news.csv. Now we are going to perform some data observation to understand our data set. We will now here we will inspect the shape of data set, that is 6,335 rows and 4 columns. Now here we are printing first 10 lines of our data set. As you can see the output.
Now, as we know that our dataset has two type of classes that is used for predictions, that is fake and real. So we will plot a graph having x-axis as labels, that is fake or real, and y-axis as count, to know how many number of fake news articles and how many number of real news articles are there in our project, and are there in our project which is used from the dataset. So here we can see that the data is fairly distributed between the classes. That is, there are equal number of fake and real news articles in the dataset. Uh, that is approximately 3000 and the total is 6000 approx.
Hmm.
Now here we will perform some data integrity check for missing label values. We will check whether some of the data in the data set contains some missing values or not. So here we have I have defined a function to perform this data quality check. So here we can see that the columns are printed over here along with non-null values. So we can see that the dataset does not contain any missing values, therefore no cleaning is required. Now we will perform the separating of labels and setting up training and test datasets. So from our dataset, we'll separate the labels and store it in a variable y and print the top 5 values of y. So here we can see that only the labels are stored in y. So now, as we have dropped the label column and as we have stored the label column in y variable, now we'll drop the label column from our dataset, and we can see here that the dataset does not contain the label column. Now next step is to split the training and test sets. So as you can see here, I have created the variables for testing and training, and I have stored the 33% of the data from the dataset for testing, and the rest of the data is stored for training. And then I have printed top 10 rows of training data and top 10 rows of testing data. Now, our next step is the feature extraction. So before we can train an algorithm to classify fake news labels, we need to extract the features from it. It means reducing the mass of unstructured data into some uniform set of attributes that an algorithm can understand. For fake news detection, it could be word counts or bag of words. So first we will start with the simple bag of words technique, for which we will be using the count vectorizer method. So first of all, we have initialized the count vectorizer along with the stop words of English. Next, then we have we have to fit and transform the training data to learn the vocabulary dictionary and return term document matrix. So we have passed the training data to the count vectorizer. We have printed the count vectorizer. Here you can see the parameters that are included inbuilt in the count vectorizer method. Then we have also printed the matrix values of the count train variable, which is used for transforming the training data. So our data training has been done using count vectorizer. So we will now print some statistics of the count vectorizer now. First of all, we'll print the shape of the count train variable. So it is the shape. We have matrix of size of this in count train, and then we have print the count vectorizer vocabulary, in which we can see that these are the words that are used in our data set, and along with the number of words. That is what count vectorizer is actually doing, counting all the single words, that how many times it is occurring in the whole document. Now, after using the count train variable, we will make the use of count test variable to transform the test data also. And now we will also use the TF-IDF vectorizers for the classification too, and we can compare between these two vectorizers used for feature extraction. So TF-IDF vectorizer basically removes the words which appear in more than 70% of articles, as I have given the parameters. First word is to remove the stop words, and second parameter is to remove the words which appear in more than 70% of articles. So we have initialized the TF-IDF vectorizer, which is also an inbuilt method. So first of all, we have initialized it, and then we will fit and transform the train data set. Then we will print the matrix of the TF-IDF train data. This will be the kind of matrix that will be printed. And then we will also transform the test set on TF-IDF test. TF-IDF train was used to transform the train test, and this was used to transform the test set. So we have applied both the vectorizers, count vectorizers and TF-IDF vectorizer for feature count, feature extraction. So it has extracted some of the features. So here we can see the number of features that the TF-IDF vectorizer has extracted, and here we can see the features that the count vectorizer extracted from the data set. So here we will perform a check to get to know so that whether both the vectorizers have extracted the same features or not. So first of all, we will compare the data frame and print the difference that features extracted by both the vectorizers are different. So we will use it one by one in our classification models for a better prediction of our data sets. So here we have performed some count DF head, in which in this you can see the features that have been extracted by the count vectorizer and the number of times it is occurring in each rows. So here we have printed the top 5 rows. It is not occurring in the top 5 rows, but it will be occurring somewhere in the rest of the data set. And then we have applied the same on TF-IDF2. We have printed the top 5 rows in which the following features have been extracted. So top 5 is not containing it, but the rest of the document will definitely be containing it. Now, moving on, I have now created a function to plot the confusion matrix that can be used further. So after performing the classification models, we will be needed to plot the confusion matrix that I will be explaining it whenever it will be created once. So it is the function that I have created to plot the confusion matrix. So using this function, we can plot a confusion matrix with or without normalization. Right now it is without normalization. It can be applied. It can be used. It can be applied by setting normalize equal to true, and here, and it will print the normalized confusion matrix. So our next step is to build the classifiers. So first of all, I will be building a classifier using naive Bayes, as we have discussed earlier. So I will initialize the multinomial NB function, which is used for naive Bayes classifier, along with the TF-IDF vectorizer for the extraction of features that have been already extracted by the TF-IDF vectorizer function. So here I have basically build a classification pipeline by which different classification algorithms can be tried out. So first of all, I'll be trying out the naive-Bayes classifier. So I have initialized it. Next. Now here I have fit the naive-Bayes classifier according to the trained data of X and Y. X contains the news text and Y contains the news labels, the classes that we are going to predict. So we have fit the trained data into the naive-Bayes classifier, and the training of the data set will be performed. And then now we'll perform the classification on an array of test vectors X. So here I will pass the test data, only the text news articles, not only the news articles, not the class labels. Only the news articles of the test data will be given to predict the class labels according to the naive-Bayes classifier by which it has been trained. So next we will print the accuracy that our model or the classifier is giving based on the test data that it has been predicted. So here we can see that the accuracy it is giving is 85%. So now we have plotted the confusion matrix for the predicted prediction that is done using naive-Bayes. So we have used the confusion matrix function that we have defined earlier for plotting of the confusion matrix. So here we can see these are the true labels and these are the predicted labels. So here this represents the number of data that was true, fake, really fake, and it also predicted as fake. And this is the number of data that was fake but it predicted as real. This is the number of data that was real but predicted as fake, and this is the number of data that was real but predicted also as real. So we have to increase these two numbers of the data and have to decrease these two numbers of the data. That's how our model will become efficient for using in future predictions. So let's move on. Here I've printed the matrix in simple matrix format, the same matrix as this. You can see this. Now we will perform the naive-Bayes classifier using count vectorizer. So I have fit the model, the trained data into the model, and predicted the test data using naive-Bayes and printed the accuracy that is giving us 89.34%. This was using count vectorizer and the previous one was using TF-IDF vectorizer. The score given by this is better than the previous one. So we will plot again the confusion matrix, and here you can see that these two values are increasing and these are the minimal set of values. I again plotted the matrix in simple matrix format. So as we have performed classification using naive-Bayes with the help of count vectorizer and TF-IDF vectorizer, so now we will print the classification report of both these type of predictions. So first of all, predicted NVT was the naive-Bayes classifier which was used along with the TF-IDF vectorizer. So here you can see the classification report for these two labels. What it means is, let me explain you. First is precision. Precision shows us what percent of your predictions were correct, and recall shows what percent of the positive cases did you catch, and F1 score represents what percent of positive predictions are correct. So these are the percentage of the classification report along with the class labels which it predicted. Now the classification report I have printed is of the naive-based classifier that was used with the count vectorizer. So here you can view it as well, the precision, recall, reference score, support, etc. So we have completed the prediction using the naive-based classifier, and now there is another classifier, that is passive-aggressive classifier, that we will also be checking for the prediction of test labels uh, in this project, so that we can select the best model for our project. So first of all, we'll initialize the passive-aggressive classifier using the pipeline model, so along with the TF-IDF vectorizer, and then we fit and transform the train data into it. And then we predicted the new statements of the test data using the classifier and printed the accuracy that of the prediction, and it gives us 93.83% of accuracy, which is the best among all the previous predictions. And we have also built the confusion matrix for this. Here we can see that these values are the lowest among the previous two matrices that we have created, and these are the highest. So the percentage that we got is perfect for building on for a final model, and can be effectively used for future predictions. So here also I have printed the matrix in matrix format just for the clarification. And then I have also printed out the classification report in which you can see the precision, recall, event score, etc. And the percentage that it gives is much more better. That is above 90% in all manners. Now the next step is to save the best model to the disk. So the best model we got is using the passive aggressive classifier. So we will be saving the model to the disk for future predictions. So we will name the model as final model.sav, and then dump the model into our disk using Pickle. That is a library used for dumping our models into the disk. So we have saved our model, and now let's perform a quick testing of the data set using the saved model file. So here I have taking an input of a news item, and then I have created a function to load the model and predict the user input, and then it will based on that user input, it will return the prediction that the given statement is true or false. So let's check this. So here you can see that please enter the news text you want to verify. Here I have already inputted a text from the data set itself, and it returned that it is real or fake. So let's try it again manually. I will show you. As I have already predicted the news item which was fake, so let me try a news item which is real. So let me run this here. User can input any news item over here. Please enter the news text you want to verify. So I will paste the news item and enter. So the prediction shown that it is real. And we already know that it is real because I have taken this data from the dataset itself. So I have done the prediction on the dataset itself. Now we will move on to the live prediction.
Now let's have a look at our interface, user interface for live prediction of data.
So this is a user interface that we have created for live prediction of data by user. For predicting any kind of news items, he or she can enter the news piece over here and click on predict, and he or she will get to know that if that news is fake or real over here. So and using this reset button, you can enter anything here and use this reset button to clear that off. So let's perform some live prediction on this user interface. So I'm opening some random website over here. This contains some coronavirus news related to the virus and stuff. So I will want to check if this news is fake or real. So I will copy this news item and check it using our user interface over here and paste it. So, and we'll click predict. It predicted that it is a fake. So this website was already printing fake news articles over here. So this was some conspiracy about coronavirus that was fake, as there are many other articles that contains fake news about coronavirus, and this was one of them. So now let me open another website. In this news, we can see that this is some news about this singer, and about here is the video of him. So here we can uh, predict ourselves that this news about him must also be true. Must be true because he is. We can view the video itself and find out whether it is true. So obviously it will be true. So let us check it using our user interface. So let me copy the news piece and predict it using our interface. So click predict. Yes, it is a real news item.
Now here, let me type one or two headlines to predict if it is fake or real. I want to type one headline that is Trump administration formally lifts lifts sanctions on Sudan. Now let me predict this. This is real, and actually it was real news. Okay, let me type one more news. Lawrence Thomas officially makes switch to fullback. Now let me predict this. This is fake, and actually it was fake news.
So this was all about our fake news detection project.
Thank you.
Thank you.